Good morning. Welcome back to another edition of Life Lessons with Mr. Beilke. Let me show you what we got going today. A couple weeks ago I installed some cabinets in the laundry room per the request of my lovely wife. Today we're going to add one more cabinet in here. But to do that, it's a cabinet this size, and we want to put it on that side so that it's all symmetrical. So that's our challenge for today. First we have to take down all these cabinets, and we got to put them back up. Today's episode, Life Lessons with Mr. Beilke, uninstalling and reinstalling cabinets. Alright, so the first step in this process of getting these cabinets down is, right now they're screwed to the wall. We're going to take those screws out, but we don't want the cabinets to just fall. There are a couple of screws that are connecting cabinet to cabinet, so we got to take those out. A couple screws in the back, a couple screws down here. So what we're going to do to add some extra support, so we're going to take this board and we're going to screw it right up in here. That way it'll hold the back end. But in order to do that, we have to first find our stud finder. I don't know where it is. Right, after several ups and downs, up the stairs, down the stairs, I think I found my stud finder. Come here. I had to come out into the garage because I remembered I was working on a project out here a while back, hanging up those boogie boards. Not much of a project, putting 2 screws in, but I wanted to find the studs. Anyway, I remembered I'd set the stud finder on that shelf, but it wasn't there. I was about to give up when I looked down a little bit closer and stud finder on the ground. We have found the missing stud finder. Stud finders are some of the hardest things to find, but we got one. Now, here's a pro tip for all of you out there. When you are done with a project, it's important to put your tools away. Otherwise, you waste a lot of time on the next project trying to locate your tools. So, the stud finder has been found. Now we can get back to work. So we're going to use our stud finder to go ahead and find the studs here in the wall, so that then we can drill some holes in here as our support brace. All right, we're going to start by pre-drilling some holes into this board so we don't split it. And one of the things that I always look to do when I'm pre-drilling is I check the screw and I check the size of the threads on the screw, and then I find a bit. Now, how do you find the right bit? Well, I want a bit that's a little bit smaller than the threads on here. That way the threads on here will still grip. And so what I do is I take the different bits and then I compare them with the screw that I'm using. And if I can still see the threads, that tells me that this is small enough that these threads will still grab on as it's going in. So I'm going to use this size, get this screwed in. The next thing that I'm going to be doing is detaching these guys. I think I only drilled from this side, so we're just going to take those 2 screws out, then the 2 screws in back, screws underneath, and it'll come right off. There's 1 done. 2 and 3. Here we go. These are a little bigger, a little heavier. I'm going to get Sarah for some help. All right, so the next part's going to involve getting the other cabinets up. So what we're going to do is we're going to lower that cleat, and then we're going to start in that corner, work our way this way. We're going to leave a little gap on that side and a little gap on this side, but there's a little strip that'll go in there. I'll show you that in a minute. So the next step involves laying all these cabinets out so we can see exactly how long they are. Then we got these trim pieces that can go on the side to fill in any extra distance that we may need. You can see in here, there's a trim piece right here. They did that again when they put these cabinets in. There's a little bit of trim on either side here just to make it fit perfectly in that space, or at least look like it does. So we'll be measuring that out and seeing if we can get a perfect fit for right here. We're going to start by getting this little extra piece right on there. So I'm going to go ahead and pre-drill, and then we'll add some screws. Bingo. All right, next step, we're going to move this cleat down and over a little bit. All right, we're going to find and mark some more studs now. Okay, I'm going to go with those two spots because when I was over here, all that extra beeping, that tells me that there's some electrical back there, and you want to be careful when there's electrical that you can't see behind the wall. You don't want to drill into that. So we're just going to stay away from that. Wow! All right, here we go. First cabinet. Let's get after it. Next, you want to go ahead and screw the cabinets together. Added stability. Make sure they don't move, Sarah. Huh? Liking it? She's nodding her head. You can't see it, but it's seal of approval. Woo! Perfect. All right, here we go. Next one. All right, now we gotta attach the sides. It is looking good. We got one cabinet to go. All right, last cabinet, the nice cold Mountain Dew time. So we ran into a little bit of an issue. There are no pre-drilled holes here, so we're going to use this guy. This bit will also countersink it a little bit, so then it's nice and flush and you don't have the head of the screw sticking out. Remember in a previous episode I gave you a pro tip. Have all your screws saved so that you can find just the right one. Good job. All right, well that's it for this episode of Life Lessons with Mr. Beilke. Maybe you learned something, maybe you didn't. Maybe you learned what to do, maybe you learned what not to do. But that's all part of the fun of learning. Have a fantastic Friday, a wonderful weekend. We'll see you back here next time. I'll need you some more, but might have to do some edits.
It's not funny.
It's hilarious. You look beautiful and you think you don't look beautiful. Phase 8. Remember when I pointed to it right here?
Here.
There.
Oh, that's not gonna look good.
What? Our wall's not straight, it's crooked. Everything's gonna be going uphill now.
Wow.
Sarah.
I feel like you need it. I gotta flush against the wall.
Nah, nobody's gonna be able to see that little gap.
That was a big gap.
No one's gonna be looking in the corners. That didn't sound right.
What happened?
I don't know. Oh, now we got double bubbles. How are you supposed to tell if it's level if you got double bubbles? I'll put a shim in there. Shimmy, shimmy, cook. Oh, funny bunch.
Oh, we lost it.
This is gonna be all jacked up.
It's not level anymore.
No.
Our arms are going numb. When you started drilling, it popped out.
Arg. No, this one's too far forward.
I know!
Arg.
You can't ask me to hold the whole thing.
Oh, now that hole is completely off. Hey, great first.
My arms!
Shake them out. Oh, no.
What happened?
Broke.
What? It is. It's not as bad.
No. Hey, not as bad is our standard here. Sometimes
Not as bad as good.
not as bad
Good enough.
is better than bad. So, not bad. And not bad sounds a lot better than it's not as bad. Not bad. Here, who knows what's going on up here? We're just gonna start putting screws everywhere. Alright, here we go, one more. Actually, two more, but this is the next one. Alright, on to the last cabinet. Then it's time for ice cold Mountain Dew. We gotta wipe it down first, hold on. Sarah approves. She's right here.
My question is how are you going to connect that piece?
That's an excellent question. So the question is...
You just open the door?
Oh, you open the door. And the screw. Zoop, zoop.
Okay, got
There you go.
Got it.
You want it level?
I don't know. Why would... There, now it's flush.
Oh, man. What are we doing?
I don't know why you're doing a video of something you have no idea how to do.
Hey, problem solving. Get after it.